Chapter 1, Fell Off the Ball gag. I like Bun Bun's character design. Colors look real pleasant together, especially her little face with the pale shades of pink and the golden eyes. The dress too, not a color I'm personally really fond of, but I can appreciate how it fits in. It also looked like something I could actually imagine someone like her wearing. She's got a real fancy ladylike thing going on with her hair being put up and the handbag and the kind of businessy dress going on. But it's also a little risky with the boob hole and the short skirt. Wasn't too fond of the shoes. I don't really like high heels, so it's probably just me. I did actually like these a little more than I usually do heels, but the tip just kinda reminded me of clown shoes. Anyway, the girl's bag runs off when she enters the building, and the shark girl's t-shirt evolves into a hoodie. The dialogue to get Bun Bun into the bondage thingy, it worked out. She's clearly pretty into this whole thing since she's paying a real hefty penny just to come and watch. So I could believe that she's secretly hoping a little on the inside that something like this would happen. It also sets up for the shark girl's thingy later. I've read the other chapters already, so I know. Also, her back runs off again? Her boobs also grow and shrink pretty regularly throughout this thing. Half the times she is packing, and the other half she's flat as a board. More like a surfboard. Shit! And now let's get into the real meat and potatoes of the comic. We got like competitive bondage rope tying going on. These folks here are like a local club. I don't know how big this is. I don't think it's massive. I think it's like a niche sport in this world, but it's there is competitions and stuff, so it does have a scene. And something about game porn, like porn where the dirty deed is being played as a game or a sport. I recall having heard demand for this thing around, and I admit my curiosity has also been sparked in the rare cases that I've seen a little something like this before. Don't know what about it. Maybe the appeal is like a variant of this distinct casual attitude, which I know both me and many other folks really dig. At this point, we start getting a little artsy with some colorful backgrounds. I certainly don't mind a bit of expressiveness going on in the back, but I don't think all the color choices worked for me. Colors can really do fucking anything based on execution. But here we got just a standalone color on top of the back. Red worked for the lemur, she's got that real intimidating adult aura going on. Yellow up here, it works. Yellow is good for any general intensities, I feel. But down here, Bun Bun is kind of thinking, and I don't think yellow is a very good thinking color. I think cyan or indigo, that seems like better thinking colors to me. Then down here we got this very specific thing between green and cyan. I don't think that color does this good battle panel here justice. We almost got like a Pokemon battle setup going on here, and this pale detergent-y thing, it just ain't up to the task. I would probably have made this thing up here more mailbox red, and then used the hot pink for the nervousy thingy, then used the yellow from there down here in the battle, and then used the bioengineered mold flavored toothpaste green up here in the thinking panel instead. Although later in the comic we do step the background game up quite a notch. I mean, look at this stuff from chapter 2. This is fucking king, dude. This is awesome. Now, I feel like we get a lot of casual energy going throughout the comic. There's a lot of places where it doesn't feel like they're actually doing anything sexual, because they're communicating like they're doing a school project together or something. And they're not getting flustered or getting carried away at all. They're just keeping it almost like, almost professional. And that doesn't have to be a bad thing. It's this casual kink that I feel a lot of folks are into, certainly me included. But I hunger for a bit of some more intense content too. There's like 2.5 pages where things get real steamy, but it's over really quickly. I think a big part of it is the dialogue, because dialogue can really extend how long a comic feels, because you're reading a lot of text on top of also scanning over all the art. So something like this feels a lot longer than something like this, to me at least. And the pages where Bun Bun gets real into it, they've got some of the least dialogue in the entire comic. I think I might have wanted it a little later in the chapter 2. It feels kind of smack dab in the middle of the whole thing, like this big intensity moment. I feel like it might have worked better as a climax. Maybe the lemur girl would start talking with carrots right after tying up the shark, and then the shark keeps being a little shit, and then we get the big ball gag moment right before she fucks off like a climax ending thing, and then we get the 2 pages of outro. I do like how you incorporate Shark Girl into a little conversation between Lemur and Miss Carrots. It's like we milk her for some casual fan service while we also get some dialogue. This is actually really smart, because the thing you're doing is like you're doing 2 things at once while also kind of setting up for itself. Like the whole thing about casual is that we got sex stuff going on without acting like we got sex stuff going on, right? It's sort of like walking and texting in the sense that like your body is walking but all of your attention is on your phone, right? And it's sort of like that with casual, where you're doing sex stuffs, but all your attention is somewhere else. You're focusing on something completely different. And here we got dialogue for kind of plot-ish reasons, right? But at the same time, we also show off a bunch of these good-ass shots of Miss Shark. And since the thing about casual is that we're doing the fuck without focusing on doing the fuck, it's actually perfect that the characters are talking about the sport and just ignoring that the fish girl is tied up and naked. This is what I mean when I say you're doing plot and porn, and by multitasking you're actually setting up for the casual porn to do its thing. There's a few moments where I thought a close-up would have been real scrumptious. Like right here, when I see this, I get this particular image in my head of like a close-up where we're looking at it more from this angle and we can see Shark Girl's shoulders tensing up and her head folding real far back around Bun Bun's hand, and her mouth is like open, maybe gasping. Or here, it would have been delicious to see a close-up of Bun Bun's tits squishing against Miss Shark's back, and then the bunny breathing right down her neck. A few ending notes. I love the little notes around. They make the world feel real lived in. Good shit. The shark's bondage changes a bit. Like here you can see her feet are connected to her ass, but then suddenly there's a thingy going up to her arms. If you're trying to set up this little thingy as a real sport that Bun Bun is gonna improve at throughout the comic, that's the impression I'm getting so far. The little details like this can make a pretty significant difference when you want to make it's kind of like a sports anime what you're doing here. You really want to understand the sport so you can hook the reader on what's going on and how all the players are doing what it is they're doing and what's their strengths and their weak spots and all this good stuff. Love the ending page with the soda machine. It's got like an almost cyberpunkish loneliness. Her hanging here in the dark alone with the only light being the vending machine glow. It's kind of chill but kind of restless or uneasy at the same time. The same feel when you wake up in the middle of the night-ish. And her feeling underexpressed and just going off in her fantasy because she's still feeling shy about this whole thing. And in her thought bubble we can see she's down for way more stuff than what we've seen so far. It's really good. I really like this one. This actually gets to replace Sloth Critique on my phone. That's been my lock screen wallpaper for a good while now. I hereby declare restrained Chapter 1 review done, and it's good shit. This is unique. It's the first time I've seen a whole comic revolving around this game porn thing, and it's very competently done too, so I'm very interested in seeing where this goes. Age of Vegetables.